Hi, I am Cristel Duay from English 2B, and today we're going to focus on the different elements of school culture. In the past discussion, school culture were defined as the unwritten expectations that was built up over time by the teachers, administrations, staff, and students who work together to deal with different challenges. And now, we're going to enumerate each of its elements. The objectives of this lesson is to first, determine the four elements of the school culture, and second, differentiate what are the characteristics of a positive and negative school culture. So without further ado, let's get started. There are four elements of school culture. First, mission, vision, and values. Second, rituals, traditions, and ceremonies. Third, history and stories. And lastly, architecture, artifacts, and symbols. Let's dive into the first element, which is composed of mission, vision, and values. Mission. Mission is the school statement which describe their purpose and day-to-day objectives that needs to be achieved by the students, teachers, administrators, and staff. Every school have its own statement of their mission, which states how the members of the school community will work together and how everyone in the school will pursue their common goals. For example, the mission of Tarlac State University. The mission of Tarlac State University is to promote and sustain the offering of quality and relevant programs in higher and advanced education, ensuring equitable access to education for people empowerment, professional development, and global competitiveness. This represents what the university aims to achieve by the students, teachers, administrations, or staff as they become the member of the school community. The school culture becomes strong and positive if every members are committed with the school mission. Vision. Vision is also one of the school statement. If the mission focuses on the day-to-day objectives that needed to be achieved, vision describes their high-level goals for the future or what they hope to achieve or the result that they want if they successfully fulfill their educational purpose or mission. For example, the vision of Tarlac State University. After fulfilling the mission, TSU envisioned the following: 1. To provide a high-quality instruction. 2. Be a premier research institution. And 3. Be a champion in community development. Vision helps the school community to see what can they become in the future. Another element is the school values. A little background about this word, it comes from the Latin word valere, which means be worth. This is a basic and fundamental beliefs which helps us to determine what traits are important for us. For example, loyalty, commitment, honesty, and so on. Values are the core principle of what the school thinks is important. For example, one of the core value of Tarlac State University is equity, which stands for excellence and enhanced competence, quality, unity, integrity and involvement, trust in God, transparency and true commitment, and lastly, yearning for global competitiveness. These core values are important in the life of every members in the school community, which can help them to acquire good characteristics. And according to Deal and Peterson 2009, this also guides the teachers and administration's thinking behavior and decision making, choosing what is good for the students, which can help the school leaders in creating applicable actions for the betterment of the school community. The second elements are the rituals, traditions, and ceremonies. Rituals. These are the processes or daily routines inside of the school that are infused with deeper meanings. Every school has several routines. It's a part of the school community's life. For example, in terms of greetings, do you always greet others by saying hello, how are you today, good morning, good afternoon, and others? If so, this is a part of your routine. And the longer that you're doing this routine, the more it becomes meaningful and impactful for those people who receive your message. From routine, it's slowly turning into a ritual. Traditions. These are significant singular events that have a special history and meaning, and these usually occur year in and year out. Unlike ceremonies, they need not to be a large communal events. School traditions can be performed by a smaller or selected groups. For example, the Lantern Parade. Most of the universities in the Philippines perform Lantern Parade to welcome the arrival of Christmas season. But because some religions of the members in the school community doesn't have Christmas, only those who wanted to join can participate in the celebration. Ceremonies. According to Deal and Peterson 2009, ceremonies are elaborate. These are culturally sanctioned events that provide a welcome spiritual boost. Ceremonies are commonly shared by a large group of people, and these events are officially approved by the school leaders. For example, graduation ceremony. This special ceremony were given for the students to honor their success in completing their course or study. Holding ceremonies, participating in rituals, or celebrating traditions strengthen the mission, vision, and purpose of the school. This creates a strong and positive relationship between the members of the school community. The third elements are the history and stories. History. History shaped and molded the culture of the school over time. This informs the teachers, administrations, staff, students about the successes, failures, or how the school operates itself. One of the most important part of a school is its history. History can determine how strong is the school from overcoming different challenges. History also presents different accomplishments and remarkable events from the past, which forms the school of what it is today. It is also crucial for school leaders to record events in the past to give it a sense of purpose. Present and future are not the only important events. Remembering the past will help the members of the school community to determine whether an action is beneficial for them or not, which means that we can learn from the past to avoid repeating the same mistakes. Stories. Every school have its own storytellers, such as teachers and staff members. Being able to recall stories may be much meaningful and influential in reconnecting teachers and administrators to what is important for teaching and the values that the school holds. As a part of school community, let me ask you a question. What kind of stories do you know about the school? Does it include the people with accomplishments or people with negative impressions? Was it widely known? These questions will determine if the school community have a positive or negative culture. In positive school culture, teachers or staff who impart important and remarkable stories motivates their colleagues or students to improve themselves and do better. However, sharing negative criticisms about others can cause destructive relationship between the members of the school community. Lastly, every story that is told has a different purpose, no matter how big or small. The last elements of the school culture was composed of architecture, artifacts, and symbols. Architecture. Architecture is an art of designing and constructing buildings. The school's architecture, especially the designs, displays, colors, and its physical structure, might affect our emotional state and ability to concentrate. For example, working or studying in a dirty, dark, and unorganized place will make you feel unhappy, emotionally drained, and unmotivated to finish your work. While on the other hand, staying in an environment with vibrant paint colors, enough light, and spacious area will give you a cheerful, positive, and refreshing vibe which can help you to be productive for the day. Artifacts. These are the tangible items that can be found as a display along the hallways of the school. This includes the awards, messages, mottos, and accomplishments of the members of the school community. Examples of these are trophies, plaques, banners, wall hangings, and posters. This visual displays means that the school can produce successful people who can inspire the members of the school community. Symbols. Symbols are cultural icons of the school that often represents potent intangibles. School symbols have meaningful description. One example is the cultural icon. Cultural icons are the intangible artifacts which can represent an organization. For example, the logo of Tarlac State University. If you will observe the logo, it was carefully designed and each feature have different meanings. For example, the maroon and yellow colors of the seal represents the colors of province of Tarlac. 1906 was the foundation date of TSU. The sun represents the sun in the Philippine flag. This gear means technological development. The O signifies knowledge and education, while the V-shaped exhaust or pipe stand for university resources. Each feature tells that the school have influential characteristics. Every members in the school community use logo to show what kind of organization do they belong. According to Deal and Peterson 2009, symbols is the sign of cultural values and beliefs of the school. Cultural values shapes the characteristics of every members in the school community. It is a socially transmitted behavior in an organization. For example, if everyone in the school respect each other, new teachers or students will more likely do the same thing. Now that we determine the different elements, let's discuss how can we know if the school have a healthy or toxic culture. Take note that the school culture can be positive or negative. A positive school culture can foster trust, collaboration, and improvement which can build the school much stronger. While a negative school culture can foster distrust, isolation, and lack of change, which can destroy the foundation of the school. In studies, Confield and Peterson also defines the positive and negative school culture. Confield states that a positive school culture provides a safe, supportive, encouraging, inviting, and challenging environment for students and staff, which in return allows students' academic achievement to evolve. On the other hand, according to Peterson 2012, in negative school culture, teacher relations are often conflictual, the staff doesn't believe in the ability of the students to succeed, and a generally negative attitude prevails. These characteristics can be the reason of the school's failure to improve. A school is healthy if the members have these characteristics. Number 1. Shared goals and vision. We know where we are going. The foundation of the school culture lies on the shared mission and vision of the students, teachers, and administrators. According to Deal and Peterson, they acknowledge their current priorities and envision themselves of what they want to become in the future. Number 2. Collegiality. We're in this together. Positive school culture exists when there is a strong bond or connection between the members of the school community that was built with trust and understanding. This allows them to work together as a team and also to solve and discuss some significant projects. Third, continuous improvement, and lifelong learning. We can always get better. There is always a room for improvement. A positive school community continuously enhance their knowledge and experience through learning in order to perform well. Teachers also empower themselves to be a lifelong learner to facilitate the learning of the students. Fourth, risk-taking. We learn by trying something new. This encouraged the school committee to discover new ideas and suggest some ways on how to improve leadership and how to overcome different challenges. The school committee also possesses a growth mindset where mistakes are not seen as a failure but rather as a source of new learning. Lastly, celebration and humor. We feel good about ourselves. A school with positive culture celebrates any type of achievements, whether it's big or small. They recognize the stories of heroines and heroes who have remarkable achievements. If we have positive school culture, we also have the negative sides. First, negative values and beliefs. In toxic school culture, teachers and administrators have negative mindset, and they usually place their personal agenda above what's best for the children in order to manipulate them to increase their power and status. Number 2. No shared sense of purpose. In toxic school culture, the teachers and administrators have no sense of purpose. The mission and vision is not being applied, and the school performance and academic achievements of the students is a failure. Third, negative relationships. Teachers or administrators have negative attitude with each other, discourage teamwork, keep unsolved arguments, and they're usually seeing the student as the source of the problem. Fourth, destructive individuals or group. One example of a destructive individual are the people what we call naysayers. Rather than sharing positive feedbacks, they spread negativity. These people are negative storytellers, anti-heroes, and anti-heroines, where they create destructive criticisms. Fifth, no sense of trust or caring. Teachers or administrators doesn't prioritize the health and well-being of the students. They fail to address the negative situation inside the school. For example, teachers fail to notice if the students are suffering in mental health problems or if they experience bullying. Lastly, in toxic school culture, there are only few positive rituals or ceremonies to build a sense of community and hopefulness, which means that the school community rarely celebrates any rituals or ceremonies for the school. The artifacts that they gain might be too old already, and the symbols are possibly dated and tired. It is very important for the school community to identify the positive and negative school culture in order to know what can we improve more in the school and how can we manage negative situations. As what Deal and Peterson emphasize, at a deeper level, all organizations, especially school, improve performance by fostering a shared system of norms, pathways, values, and traditions. This infuse the enterprise with passion, purpose, and a sense of spirit. Without a strong positive culture, schools plunder and die. That's all for my report. Thank you for listening.